Good morning. Welcome to your Wednesday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, and apparently I'm channeling my inner rooster today. Hope you're all having a good start to your morning and looking forward to sharing today's card with you because it has one of those messages that when you read the card, you're either going to go, yeah, that's not me, or you're going to go, ooh. If you go, ooh, don't worry about it, because then we can talk about how do you do this? How do you adjust this? All right. Good morning. Welcome to whoever just popped on. Glad you're here. Beth is here. Awesome. Everybody's starting to roll in. Awesome. Awesome. We'll give it a minute as people are starting to connect. So let's just do some of our nice deep belly breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Peggy. Glad you're here. In through the nose. Good morning, Jobelle. Out through the mouth. And Cindy, welcome, welcome. Everybody popping on. This is good. This is good. This is good. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to everybody. Good morning, Susan. Awesome. All right, we're just breathing. Filling up. Noticing how full we can get our lungs on the inhale. Good morning, Gwen. Exhale. How much junk we can release. Everything moves on the breath. All of our thoughts, our feelings, our bodily functions, everything moves on the breath. So when we don't breathe deeply and easily, things don't move as well as they need to. So just even 3 or 4 periods of time during the day where you make the conscious effort to breathe deeply, going to help tremendously. And like I said, one of our own practical rebels here, when she had a medical thing recently, they told her how impressed they were with her capacity to breathe deeply. Practice makes adequate. Let's do this thing. More breaths. Now try a breath through the mouth. See if you can take in more. And out. I find I can take in more when I breathe through my mouth. Good morning, Mel. Glad you're here. Welcome. So today's card. Good shit. But maybe some of you are going to go, oh, don't worry about it. We'll fix it. We can fix it. Power of Surrender by Judith Orloff. 52 card deck to transform your life by letting go. And how many of us go through life white knuckles, hanging on by the skin of our teeth? That's not what's intended. That's not what's intended. Ooh, we got our number 8 here. Infinity going. Love it, love it. We're meant to flow. We're meant to flow through life. But life has gotten so busy and so complicated and so cacophonous that it makes it harder for us to practice our serenity. Good morning, Debbie. Glad you're here. But that we will. We're practicing serenity today. Surrender stubbornness. Surrender stubbornness. Look at that jawline. Look at her. Nope, not gonna. Forget it. Not happening. How many of us could do that? I always used to tell my kids when they'd do that, good morning, that it looked like a bird could camp on their lower lip. So, but let's see. First of all, we have to be able to identify that we're in a stubborn stance before we can do anything about it, right? So let's start there. Here are the words. Just listen with the intuitive part of yourself that knows what part of this you need to grab. And then we'll talk about how do you relax that? How do you move yourself out of stubbornness? If you are tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. So, gently observe yourself. I want to observe yourself right now. Where in your body is there any resistance? Good morning, Judy. You might notice your hands are like this. You might notice a tension in your legs. You might notice that your stomach is tight. For me, it's my back. Oftentimes, it's my back. If I feel like I've got it locked up, that's my signal. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. That's my signal. Okay, what are you resisting here? And another word for stubbornness is resistance. Okay? View them as being similar. So, once you've noticed that you're being stubborn, Once you've gotten it, again, for me, if I feel like someone's trying to make me do something, I get that feeling here of being pulled where I don't want to go, and my heels dig in. There's a reason we use that description. Good morning, Janine. Our heels digging in. Yoga helps you open up to receive. Fabulous. Yes, yes, yes. That's a great one, Gwen. Breath can help you open up to receive. And what you're receiving is what's going on in that moment. When you feel that resistance, wait a minute, I'm fighting here. Yes, what you resist persists. Absolutely true. Does that mean you want to accept what's happening? Not necessarily, but you're just breathing into what is so that you can assess it. You can make your judgment calls, your decisions, your discernment, whatever it is, and then go from there. When we have that knee-jerk reaction of stubbornness or resistance, we're not running our show. Our ego is driving the bus, okay? So we want to get the ego in the back seat where it belongs. It's a passenger. It's important. We need to keep it on board. It's a passenger. It does not get to drive, all right? So I'm just going to pick something and run with it. So let's say your boss says, I'm going to make one up here. We're all going to take the day off that we're not going to get paid for it, any of us, and we're going to do X as a company. Good morning, CJ. Glad you're here. And you're like, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do, and I don't want to be told what to do with my time off, and I don't want to lose that money, and okay? All right, stop. Ground through your feet with the breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. You do not have to give an immediate response. In through the nose, out through the mouth. You get to take time for discernment. You get to say, I'll get back to you on that. Let me think about that. Give me a couple of days and we can talk about that. Buy yourself some time. That's usually a huge gift right there. So then you go home and you're pissed off because the boss is going to make everybody take a day off without pay and blah, blah, blah. Sit, be, journal, walk in nature. Take that time. Okay, why am I so pissed off about that? Really isn't the money. It really isn't that she or he has picked something that we're going to do. It's that I wasn't consulted. It's that I wasn't asked. I'm being told. I'm being voluntold. I'm not being included in the decision making. Okay, so what do I want to do about that? First, I'm going to breathe some more. Okay, I think I'm going to go tell my boss how I feel about this. So it could be going into your boss and saying, do you have a minute? He or she says yes. I want to talk about the decision you made about all of us having a day off, but we're supposed to show up and do this for free. Here are my thoughts on that. I guess I don't mind doing that, but I didn't like not being included in making that decision. It feels like you dictated what we all were going to do without consulting us. So, could you in the future consult us before making decisions like that? And he or she may say, yeah, I got a whole lot of pushback from everybody. I've had everybody in here telling me they're not happy about that decision, blah, blah, blah. So let's rethink this. I'll rethink it, come up with some options, and present them to you guys. What do you think of that? Okay, cool, fine. Instead of you being one of the ones who went in and railed, you're very thoughtfully going back, setting your boundary, but in a respectful way, and educating the boss about what didn't work there. Good morning, Mary. Glad you are here. Welcome. So this is about taking your stubbornness and turning it into something useful. Stubbornness doesn't always have to be bad. So let me give you another for instance there. If there's something you're trying to accomplish and the door closes, instead of going, oh, I guess that's never going to happen, look for the window, look for another door, look for opportunity. What are my other ways of approaching this? I love, I got a fly in here. I think it's summer again. I love taking the opportunity then to brainstorm. Okay, if that's not going to work, well, maybe I'm not going to accept that that's not going to work. Maybe I'm going to try another approach. So maybe if it's someone who's told me no, maybe I'm going to go up to them and say, I was thinking about when you said no about blah, blah. I'm wondering what it would take to make that a yes. Just wondering. Well, there's nothing that's going to make that a yes. I'm absolutely opposed. Can you tell me why you're opposed? What about that didn't chime for you? I'm going to go back to the previous example. Good morning, Chrissy. Glad you're here. You're telling me what to do instead of consulting me about what I'd like to do. Okay, so what would you like to do? Well, I wouldn't like to do it on that day. I'd like to do it a week later. Cool, let's do it. So, again, God's denial is not God's, God's postponement is not God's denial. It may just be a timing thing. It may just be there's some other aspect that needs to be shifted or tweaked a little bit to get your yes. All right? So don't lock yourself into, didn't work, ain't going to happen, forget it, blah, blah. Good morning, Bobby. Glad you are here. For those of you who are in sales, you know this, right? On average, it takes 7 no's before you get to a yes. So, like I said before, one of the things I do with people who I've done a discovery call with, a coaching discovery call, is if they give me a no, and they give me the 8,000 reasons why it's no, and I've reiterated for them, okay, so likely 3 months from now, what will have changed? Well, nothing. Okay, do you want to go through 3 more months? Well, maybe I'll be in a better place financially, blah, 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 to make the commitment to coaching, whatever. I will say to them, is it okay for me to give you a call in 3 months and see where you're at? I have one of those on my schedule for this week or next. A 6 month. She wanted 6 months. I'm following up with her in 6 months. Cool, just checking in, see what's changed, how things are, blah, blah, blah. And usually what I hear from them is, with regard to the problem that led them to coaching in the first place, nothing has changed because they haven't elevated their level of functioning, right? You cannot solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created it in the first place. You have to transcend that process to come up with your solutions. That's why I love things like brainstorming and that kind of stuff, because when you get a bunch of people's energies working on something, they move up. They automatically move up. If everybody's sitting there like, oh, we can't, this is never going to work, yeah, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you can get people excited, if you can get people generating options, even if it's options like, let's invite in Superman to fix this for us, it doesn't matter. In the brainstorming phase, everything counts. Put it all on the board, everything counts. Then you start discernment. It's kind of the same as if you're writing a book. I always tell people, you do not write the book and edit the book at the same time. It's 2 different mindsets. And one is the editing is going to slow down the writing. Throw it all up on the page. Put down anything. If you don't know how it's going to work out, if you're waiting for the guidance on how it's going to work out, put down whatever comes up or leave big blanks. Just put down stuff. Then, later, at a different time, a different day, you might even sit at a different desk to do editing as opposed to writing. They're very different processes, okay? Drifted afield, stubbornness. When do you notice your stubbornness? How do you notice your stubbornness? What do you feel in your body when you are being stubborn? I will suggest that for many people, they get very shallow in their breathing. I will suggest to you that sometimes they do turn away, that they lock you out in a way. I will suggest you might feel tension in your hands, that run feeling in your legs, a twist in your gut. Your body is going to tell you that it's feeling resistance, that it's feeling stubborn, that it's digging in. Recognizing it is half the battle. Once you know it's there, then start undoing those things that you notice. So if it's a tightness in your stomach, breathe into that. When you have your stomach settle down, then your brain begins to calm. Again, if you're a trauma person, your brain will pop you into, thank you, Chrissy, you're absolutely right, undoing the things that you notice. Your brain will pop you into overdrive. Warning, 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 danger, danger, danger. whether it's a danger to your emotional self or your physical self or your spiritual self, that part of your brain, the limbic system, does not differentiate. If something feels like a threat, it goes into resistance mode. Learning how to manage that part of your brain is huge. Breathing, when you're taking nice deep breaths, what message does that send your body? I'm calm, I'm relaxed, I am not in danger, I am safe. I am safe. So get the breathing going. That will begin to convince your body, I'm safe, it's okay. In this moment, I'm fine. Yes, whatever this thing was that came at me, I need some time to work my way through that. And I'm not going to say think my way through it. There may be thinking involved in the process, but oftentimes it's feeling our way to an okay spot with this. So when something hits us, lights us up like a Christmas tree, we're practicing calming down that part of our brain, and telling somebody to calm down is absolutely not helpful. Not helpful, all right? Don't make this motion at them. Okay? How do you feel when someone makes this motion at you? Not helpful. Probably ratchets it up even further. It could be things like, let's go for a walk. Let's take a break from this for a bit. Let's settle things down inside both of us, because we're kind of wired up here. And then let's approach it and see what we can do with it. Work as a team. So if it feels like an opposition, if someone confronts something with you and it feels oppositional, shift your physical stance a little bit, as if there were a third party present who's part of this circle and going to talk to you. Just shifting your posture that little bit is going to bring down that adrenaline rush, that cortisol flow, that warning, warning, warning response. Okay? And again, I can't tell you how much I advocate for buy yourself some time. Let me get back to on that. I need some time to think about that. All right, I need to talk that over with someone and I'll get back to you. If they're pushing, no, I need to know right now. No, someone else's crisis, it does not make a crisis on your part. You have the right to take the time you need to make a good decision. All right? Will they be upset? Perhaps. Not your problem. Not your problem. You want to make good decisions. Okay? The other thing that can happen is when you pop into resistance like this, you automatically say no. Nope, not going to do that. Forget it. Not happening. After you think about it, you might go, well, why did I say no to that? I actually would like to do that. Why did I say no to that? Feel free to go back after the fact. There you go. If you have to know now, the answer is no. There you go. There you go. So, but go back to it. Call them up. You know, Jane, I was thinking about what you presented to me yesterday, and I said no. I think my no was kind of a knee-jerk reaction. I'd like us to talk about that. I'd like to consider that. It sounds kind of cool. Feel free to go back and correct what didn't come off the way you wanted it to come off in the first place. We have that option. We have that option. So, today's goal is look for times when you're getting stubborn. Look for when you dig in. Look for when you're locking down. And do what you can. Practice. Make that an experiment. Ooh, here's an opportunity. Let's see what I can do with this. Bonnie said to breathe. I'm going to try breathing. Let's see what that does. Okay, well, that helped a little bit, but I got to shake out my hands because they're in fists or whatever it is. Practice. You're getting opportunities to practice, opportunities to grow. So, have an awesome Wednesday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are, including surrendering stubbornness. Bye-bye.